Hey guys, welcome to the 10th and the final video of Linux interview question and answer series. If you haven't watched the earlier 9 videos, I'll put the link into the description. You can go and watch them. I hope they are useful for you. And if you like the videos, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to get the notification for more videos. Because your support will motivate me to make more videos. And I'll be coming up with more videos along with the practical on specific topics. You can also write in the comment box if you want me to make a video on a specific topic. I'll definitely make one. So without further ado, let's get directly into our first question, and that is difference between LVM and FDisk. Logical volume management creates a layer of abstraction. So what LVM does, it creates a layer of abstraction over physical storage, that is your hard disk, allowing you to create logical storage volume so that you can create logical volumes. LVM allows a very flexible disk space management. Why it is called as flexible? It is called flexible because you can reduce and extend it. It provides features like the ability to add disk space to a logical volume and its file system. While that file system is mounted and active, it allows for the collection of multiple physical hard drives and partitions into a single volume which can be divided into logical volumes. That means you can collaborate one or more physical hard drives so that you can use it as a single volume and also create logical volumes on it. The volume manager also allows reducing the amount of disk space allocated to a logical volume. But there are a couple of requirements. First, the volume must be unmounted. Second, the file system itself must be reduced in size before the volume on which it resides can be reduced. It is important to note that the file system itself must allow resizing for this feature to work. The ext2, 3 and 4 file system all allow both offline unmounted and online mounted resizing when increasing the size of a file system, and offline resizing when reducing the size. What is fdisk and how it is used? Fdisk, also known as format disk, is a dialog driven command in Linux. It is used for creating and manipulating disk partition table. With the help of fdisk command, you can view, create, delete, change, resize, copy and move partition on a hard drive using the dialog driven interface. This tool is very useful in terms of creating space for new partitions, organizing space for new hard disk, reorganizing old drives and copying or moving data to new disk. It allows you to create a maximum of 4 new partition, that is primary partition, and number of logical extended partition based on size of the hard disk you have in your system. With the help of fdisk-l command, you can view the existing disk partition on your system. The partitions are displayed by their device name, for example /dev, that is device SDA, SDB or SDC. These are nothing but the drives. To view all partitions of a specific hard disk, use the -l, that is the list with the device name. Guys, just keep that in mind. These all question and answer are interview based. I'll be creating videos on each specific topic with practical, where I'll be creating a partition on the hard drive using fdisk command. So don't worry. Coming to the next question, and this is a type of scenario based question. What precautions would you take before reducing LVM? As we have already discussed, LVM is a logical volume manager where we combine multiple disks into a logical volume so that we can extend and reduce it. But what are the precautions you will take before reducing LVM? So I have listed down some of the prerequisites or precaution, you can say. It always said that this task is critical and may end up with disaster while we reduce the LVM. reducing LVM is really interesting than any other part in logical volume management. So before starting, what we have to do, it is always good to take the backup of the data so that if something goes wrong, you have the backup. To reduce a logical volume, there are 5 steps needed to be done very carefully. The first step is unmount the file system for reducing. You know that there is a file system, you have to first unmount that file system. Check the file system after unmount whether it's properly unmounted or not. Reduce the file system. Reduce the logical volume, size, then current size. Then recheck the file system for error. So these are some of the steps, or you can call it as prerequisites for reducing an LVM. I will make a video where we will create an LVM, reduce and extend it with practical. How to execute cron jobs, explain its fields. So this is also a very important question because every Linux admin or a system admin has to schedule job because we have to avoid manual jobs in the organization. So where this inbuilt feature of cron comes into picture. The cron daemon is built-in Linux utility that runs processes on your system at a scheduled time. Cron, what it does, it reads the cron tab, that is cron tables for predefined commands and script. By using a specific syntax, you can configure a cron job to schedule scripts or other commands to run automatically. So what are the prerequisites? A system running Linux, access to command line, terminal window, a user account with root or sudo privileges. Cron reads the configuration files for a list of commands to execute. The daemon uses a specific syntax to interpret the lines in the cron tab configuration tables. To be able to set up a cron job, we need to understand the basic elements that make up this syntax. For scheduling a job as root user, the pattern is used shown below. So there is a specific pattern when you try to create a cron job. If you see the star here, star means these are the fields that are defined. The first one is allocated to the minutes, that is from 0 to 59 minutes. The second star is for hours, that is you can define it from 0 to 23 hours. The third one is a day of month, that is from 1 to 31. Then comes the month of year, you can mention it as 1 to 12 or June, July, August in this short form. And the final field is for the day of week, you can mention it as 0 to 6 or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just mentioning the first 3 letters. Then comes your username and then the command or script that you want to execute. So this is the format how we use the cron job. Then the root user uses the cron table, that is etc cron tab, or preferably creates a cron table in etc cron.d to schedule a job as root. So in which minutes of an hour to execute the job, that is I've already mentioned, you have to mention this way 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Or if you want to run the job every 10 minutes, you can directly write as 0/10 to specify every 10 minutes for an hour. In which hours of a day to execute the job. For example, use 70 to 20, that is 70 to 20 is nothing but 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to specify the time. So your job will run in between these times. In which day of month to execute the job. For example, this is the 15th day of May, so you can, or June, you can write as 1/5/15 in the third field. In which month of a year to execute the job. For example, you can use the first 3 letters June, July, August, or 6, 7, 8 to specify the months. In which day of week, and if you want the job to run the entire week, you can mention the asterisk command, the star command for job to run execute independently of the day of week. So this is also a very big topic, cron. It cannot be explained in 1 or 2 slides. I will create a specific video on it For that, you have to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get the notification of that video. Okay, coming to the next question, that is, when you create a normal user, what are the files that are modified? This is also a very important question, but mostly asked when the company requires a L1 or L2 type of, or if the interviewer wants to see what are the basic understanding the candidate has, they can ask you this scenario based question. What are, trust me, I've been asked this question multiple times, and I have also asked candidates while taking interviews. So the most popular command called user add or add user in Linux. There are times when a Linux system administrator asks to create user accounts on Linux with some specific properties, limitation or comments. In Linux, user add command is a low level utility. It is used for adding or creating user accounts in Linux and other Unix like operating system. The add user is much similar to user add command because it is just a symbolic link to it. When we run user add command in Linux terminal, it performs following major things. So what happens when a user is created? It edits etc passwd file, etc shadow file, etc group and etc gshadow file for the newly created user account. And also what it does, it creates and populate a home directory for the new user. Set permissions and ownership to home directory. So these are 5 changes that happens to your system the moment you create a new user. So that brings us to the end of the series. It was really fun making these videos. Thanks for watching, and as said earlier, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get the notification of more videos. I'll definitely come up with videos including practicals, and I'll also be discussing different technologies, so don't miss them. Okay, signing off as of now. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.